Hello friends, thank you for visiting my channel. My name is Cole, aka Trans Spirit, a transgender human being with an emphasis on spirituality. A big subject for me recently has been the higher self, our soul, our own personal awareness, and the ego. Now this subject can get kind of tricky and I'm still trying to completely figure it out. I want to give a shout out to my friends at Soulmanity, the Soulmanity sisters. You can go get a lot of great information from these people. It's Soulmanity101.com would be their website. Thank you, Soulmanity. I was talking to my friend from Soulmanity the other day, asking her, how do I deal with my ego? Because what I used to think is that the ego was all bad, your ego's not your amigo, all this stuff. And, you know, we all have to start somewhere. I was listening to somebody that I trusted, and it's not that they were trying to mislead me, it's just that's their perspective. And when I got to take on some other perspectives, it resonated with me that the ego is definitely our friend. But there's a balance, much like anything else in this world. If you are solely thinking and feeling from your ego, that's not good. That's not going to be good at all. That's going to be the selfishness. That's going to be doing things only for yourself and not for others. However, the ego is good in a sense that it keeps us alive. It keeps us alive by reminding us not to do certain things. Don't jump off that cliff. Don't get too far to the edge. Don't run out into traffic. It's more of your reptilian brain. It's on autopilot most of the time. It's your conscious mind. So in a way, it is important. It drives you. Your ego quite often will drive you to do better. I want to do better at this. I want to win this award. I want to be the very best at this. It's a matter of keeping it in check, not letting it completely drive your entire life, drive your body, your meat suit, your car. I say you don't want your ego to drive your car. Now, I have been a person that when I thought that the ego was a bad thing, I would try to push it off and it wasn't a part of me. My ego is not a part of me. The more you resist anything, the more it's going to persist. And that's not always the fun thing to hear. I'm dealing with some stuff right now in life to where I'm rolling my own eyes like, I know, the more I resist it, it's going to keep persisting. But it's true, and I want to share with you what I know to be true. My hope is to help people. All of the stuff that I have been sharing on this channel is stuff that I personally experience, whether it be spiritual things and or a mix of growing up transgender. I am not your typical transgender person. Most people will change their bodies, take hormones, and I'm all for that. But I felt like it wasn't a part of my life, and I wasn't sure why. This was almost 15 years ago, and now I feel it is more of spiritual reasons. I didn't realize at the time that I would end up gravitating more toward a spiritual lifestyle, more toward a lifestyle where I ingest as little chemicals as possible. So I like to talk more about spirituality than anything because that's been the biggest help for me overall in life. Not just with being transgender, but with being a human. The whole subject of my ego and my higher self has been a huge thing for me lately. The biggest thing I've learned, and that I did learn through Soulmanity, was that these two, they must become friends. They have to become friends for you to live a more balanced life. You can do this by positive self-talk. As crazy as it might sound, I mean, let's be real, life is crazy. It's crazy that we're all even here. Positive self-talk, this could be anything from positive affirmations such as, I am happy, I am successful, I am a good person. Stuff like that too. I've gotten deeper to where I talk to my ego almost as if it's my younger self or my kid. I don't have kids, but I imagine that if I had kids, that's what it would be like. You want to be gentle with them, positive with them. You don't want to sugarcoat anything, but you want to be gentle. For instance, I'll give you an example. One of my biggest things is my ego will want to do everything in one day. And I mean so many projects in one day that no human could do it. Now, the issue is somewhere in the middle of the day, near the end of the day, my ego likes to start beating up on myself. How could you not do all this? What is wrong with you? You're never going to be up to par. How could you not get this done? You never do anything right. That's your ego. That is your ego. That's negative self-talk. That's where the ego can be a bad thing. If we let the ego take control and we start all this negative talk with ourselves, it's not healthy by any means. So when I feel that part of me coming out and the worst parts of me, my shadows, the dark parts of me telling me I'm not good enough, stop, breathe, and start talking to myself gently as if I'm the younger version of myself or my kid, however you'd like to put it. And I tell myself, I even pat myself on the side or the back if I need to. I tell myself, you are doing a great job today. You are getting everything done that you physically can. And if you need a rest today, then you need to take a rest. Rome wasn't built in a day, whatever quote you want to use. I just gently tell myself and remind myself that I am doing a great job. I remind myself of how far I've come since a few months ago, since 5 years ago, whenever. I've told you, I've shared before, I was a fall down drunk for almost a decade. It's been almost 8 years of no alcohol for me. I remind myself, look at where you're at. You've had the courage to move 2,000 miles away and pursue your dreams with your dream woman. You're living in a new city. You're doing all these things that some people never do in their lifetime. Show a little self-love and appreciation. Self-love isn't just about making smoothies and eating plant-based and not getting drunk as all hell, you know. It's not just about yoga and meditation. It's about the way you talk to yourself, whether it's out loud or it's in your own mind. Mainly it's in our own mind, because we don't talk to ourselves, especially if we're in an environment where other people are around and we're having private thoughts. We're not going to say them out loud. In your own mind, how do you talk to yourself? It's very important that you have this self-love. It's very important that I do it. It's not an easy thing to switch overnight and to just be like, okay, it's all positive self-talk. It's not easy. It's a journey. It's a journey, but the more we work at it, the more steps we take toward our goals and toward bettering ourselves, the better off we're going to feel, the better off our lives are going to be overall. The best thing that you can do is to have your higher self, your soul, and your ego become friends. Your ego is your freaking amigo, man. It is. And for the longest time, I kept saying, your ego is not your amigo. And as funny as that sounds and everything, I just think that it's just misleading. I'm not saying that my ego is my best friend. My ego is not my best friend. But my higher self and my ego put together, that's the best friend right there. Because your ego is going to keep driving you and your ego is going to warn you about things. But your higher self needs to take most of that control there and say, hey, ego, calm down. We got this. Say your ego and beating yourself up isn't your problem. Say you're dealing with having feelings of wanting to tell everyone how great you are, or you know somebody like that. Oh, I do so good. I'm the best. I'm the best. Your higher self might want to say, hey there, ego, calm down. There are people that are better than you. There are people that are worse than you. There's all different types of people. We're not worried about other people. We're worried about us. We're worried about me. What can I do? What can I do to make this world a better place? What can I do to better myself today? It's a thin line. It's a thin line, but that is the best advice that I had gotten. Thank you again, Soulmanity. You can check them out at Soulmanity, SOULMANITY 101.com. They're also on Instagram. Check them out there. I highly recommend them and their spiritual teachings. I've learned a lot from it. I've learned grounding techniques. That's also an excellent way to release that inner struggle between your higher self and your ego. Meditation grounding techniques. I imagine light to come through my crown chakra, down through all the chakras, my solar plexus, way down, and to come out. I envision almost like a tree trunk coming out and grounding into Mother Earth. You want to ground yourself into Mother Earth. I'll make another video later about grounding techniques and meditation. I love you all. I hope this helped. Just remember that your higher self and your ego are in it together to win. It's a force that will help you get through your day-to-day life. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Love yourself. Know that you are worthy. You're worthy of the very best things in this life. We're all worthy of greatness. Hey y'all, I just wanted to add to this video and remind you that you can check out Soulmanity at www.soulmanity101.com, and it's spelled Soulmanity. You can also find Soulmanity on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. An excellent, excellent duo of ladies that can teach you a lot about spirituality, the ascension process, all those types of things. Self-love. Thanks, y'all. Peace.